How we roll.
That is what is happening right here, right now. We are live. Everybody's been waiting for it. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You
Do that
see it?
midday shimmy.
Yes. Gotta wake it up.
We
Gotta make it move.
are rising up here in the midday. I am so comfortable with our guest today, our remarkable flyer, the Renee Scott, who you're going to learn about here in just a second. That I came home after a business meeting. I slid out of my blazer, put on the robe. Renee said, "Be you." And so here I am presenting in my robe because that's the kind of feel and love that Renee puts out into the universe. Um, so let's talk about Renee Scott for a second. Renee, you are an exceptional businesswoman, but you did not, this is not what you set out to do. This was not your original plan. Would you be so kind for anyone who doesn't have the privilege of knowing you or reading the sign above your on your feed, what you do, how it happened, and why you do it?
Oh, absolutely. Well, first, let me say, Becca, I'm excited to be here. I have a lot of energy and I'm just excited. Listen, no little girl decides at any young age, I want to be an insurance agent. It's just something I happened upon. I went to the University of Florida and they were recruiting for interns. And one of their intern spots was Orlando. At that time, I was in Orlando, that was home. And so I said, they're paying $10 an hour. And in the 90s, that was a lot of money. And so I said, yeah, I'm in. And so I started as an intern with an insurance company. And believe it or not, on the first day, I realized this is what I want to do. Which is crazy because I was at the University of Florida and I went in for accounting, failed my first accounting class, quickly decided that that was not for me, and majored in finance. But insurance became a love and a passion of mine. And so here I am today. It's hard to believe that almost 25 years later, I now have my own agency and I'm excited. I'm so excited.
I think you just tipped on two really important lessons, especially for women in business. Number one is to trust your instinct when an opportunity presents itself, which you did at a very young age. And number two, you are clearly a people person. You're warm and outgoing, but you also have those finance skills, which people try to delineate that you're in this box or this box, but that's not true. And that's one of the things that probably makes you so successful is that you're deeply interested in the person or persons you're trying to serve and help, but you
Absolutely.
also can look at their fiscal needs and meet that.
Yes.
And
Yes.
I, I think that's really important and something that if you're not asking your insurance professional that, then you either just call Renee and she'll move your policies over, or you need to reassess because I tell you what, there are not a lot of people who spend the amount of time that Renee does really looking out for your best interest because you don't want to lose a customer. You
I
take
don't.
care of them so they'll tell 10 friends because that's the best way to build business.
It is
You
to be relationship based is so important. And, here's the thing, if there are young ladies out there and they are in college and they're thinking, I don't even know what I want to do. My daughter's kind of going through that right now. I don't know what I want to do. And this is what I thought I wanted to do, but now it's changed. It's okay because, like you said, just trust your instinct. You will eventually get to where you're destined to be, but it's a process. And so just trust the
Mhm.
process.
Yeah, no, I think that's incredibly good advice. You were explaining some of your business philosophy to me. Would you be so kind as to share that with the audience? Because I think it really taps into your ethos and why doing business with you is doing business with someone who's truly invested.
Absolutely. Thank you. One thing about insurance is that we all have it, whether it's health insurance, your homeowner's insurance, your auto insurance. There are so many options when it comes to insurance. You can just go online, get a quote. But what I share with people is if you want to understand the coverages that you have, especially as it pertains to your personal lines of insurance, whether it's auto insurance or your condo insurance, your renter's insurance, or your homeowner's insurance. If you want someone that is going to take the pain out of shopping for insurance, it's going to save you time. You're not having to go from this carrier website to that carrier website, that person calling this person. We have over 30 carriers that we are able to place you with. If you want to feel confident after we have our conversation and you're a part of our agency that you're paying the best price for the best coverages that meet your needs, then I am your woman. I am the agency for you. And so often, there are individuals who just want to give me a little piece of information and say, "Hey, Renee, you figure out what's best for me, and then we'll reconnect in a few hours and make a decision from there."
And one of the things that I love that you said when we were talking about this is you were very conscious of the fact that people are suffering financially. And so you want to meet people where they are and not, yes, you want to make sure they're protected, but you're not, you're willing to say, maybe this option's better for your family right now because we've taken such financial hits. And I think that that is a sign of, that's a difference between somebody who's selling something and somebody who's building something. And I think that's why you've been successful and will continue to be so, is that you truly are looking out for the best interests of those you serve. And
Yes.
I think that's pretty awesome. Um, One of the things I think is cool, it's my business partner was joking that it's Twins Week, uh, because we had Bamitra and Demetra last week, but apparently you are second double trouble.
Yes. Yes. And for those that are connected to me on social media, they know because I'm always like posting pictures of us or whatever the case may be. But yes, I have an identical twin. Actually, Becca, twins run throughout our family. My father, who's no longer living, may he rest in peace, is was a twin. My sister is married to a twin. We have twins on our maternal side. So, yeah, but neither one of us had twins, which is crazy to think about.
And yet I feel grateful. My husband's brother, they have 5 kids, which that alone is
It's awesome.
that's off my radar. But they had 2 sets of twins
Really?
and no
Wow.
biological intervention. I was like, ooh, no.
That
I don't,
is awesome.
I mean, praise to them. May it be beautiful. We just got a
Wow.
puppy, and I keep telling my husband, and I love this dog. I said, but now I remember why we didn't have a third child.
Yes.
Um, Very much so. I think it's very interesting. And now, are you and your sister similar or very different?
We are, should I say, similar and different. So she likes vanilla ice cream. I like chocolate. She would say she's an introvert. I'm an extrovert. So we're a little bit different. But when it comes to just what we think, especially our faith, she is my biggest confidant. We're very similar minded. We can at times finish each other sentences. So it's such a blessing to be a twin. I feel my kids always say, "You've got a twin radar." If I spot them anywhere, if I'm in the mall, if I'm walking, I'm like, "Hey, are those twins?" And I just, anytime I see a set of twins, I want to meet them. I want to share with them because it is just a beautiful relationship having a twin sister.
That's so cool. That is
Hmm.
really cool. And I think that's a wonderful dichotomy that, you both very successful, uh, entrepreneurial, all these things. But while you may choose to navigate the world slightly differently, what matters to you all is the same. And I think that's a values thing in it and something that's really connecting.
Yeah.
Um, you are also something that I was not good at, but you shared with me that you are a travel baseball mom, which means that if if that's not reason enough to do business with you and you can be this happy after schlepping every weekend to this and that and here and there and all this stuff, and that, I mean, it is some next level. They're play on music. I mean, it's beyond the fray for me. Um, Number one, you clearly love your child more than I love mine, which is very nice of you. But what's the and again, I don't know anything about the sports, but I do love to watch my kids play.
I love
But
my yes.
it's so, and when I get like when they have those moments of accomplishment, it's really
Oh, it's
fantastic.
so good.
Um, what's the furthest you've had to travel?
So typically we are in the state of Florida. So I would say we probably the furthest is probably furthest south was Naples, probably furthest north was the Gainesville area. So we don't go very far. Now we do have a trip planned for Tennessee. That's going to be taking place this summer. But we waited, even though we knew our son had the talent to do travel ball very early. We didn't want him to get overwhelmed with the rigor of travel ball. So we held off from travel ball and did rec just at the local rec area in Lutz where we are close to, but now it's a little bit more as they're getting into middle school and then of course preparing for high school. We know that he needs that travel ball. He needs that competition, that more of an elite competition. So it's fun. It is so fun to watch him on the field. It really is.
I swear, this woman helps people in their most dire times. My house is flooded, my car is totaled, and she is super positive about number one, a middle schooler and travel ball. If that's not reason enough to call Renee Scott Insurance today and to show who she is, then I don't know what it is, because that's some next level business. Um, what My last question for you, and I'm asking it on purpose because
Yes.
I think it's important, because I think that we are, I say this a lot, but I'm going to say it again. I believe we are, if we have two hands for a reason, one to climb and one to help pull up. So I
Yes.
always think it's really important to talk about how we can help others, but specifically women, um, meet their professional goals.
Mhm.
You have a professional goal for this year. Please speak it so people can help you meet it.
Absolutely. So I was a captive agent for 2 years when I first started in entrepreneurship. And I did not start on this road thinking I wanted to be an entrepreneur. Actually, when someone originally presented to me, I was like, oh no, that's not for me. Like I'm rock solid in my corporate career. I don't need to do entrepreneurship. But that was a little seed that was planted 10 years before I ever opened my door as an entrepreneur. But then I got to the point where I wanted to take the information that I had learned and really make my own decisions and chart my own course. And so last year, I made the decision to leave my captive agency and then become an independent agent where I could own my book of business, own my customers, have my customers. And so we are in full on growth mode for 2021 because 2020 we really used to transition the business from one dynamic to another. And so I have a goal of writing or at least bringing on and growing 1 million in premium. Of course, you pay a premium, and so customers pay us premium, and so that is one of the ways that I basically track my success in the industry. And so I want to grow by 1 million, and it's not just me. I have a team. I have a wonderful team, Becca, with me, and it is all girl power, believe it or not. So I have two employees that work with me. And so that is our goal, that we want to basically just share, build the brand, really through relationship is how we build the brand, because we want to build on a very rock solid foundation. But we do have aggressive goals. And so I just appreciate the opportunity for me to come on, for us to talk, for you to chat, for you to have on your robe and just promote female owned businesses.
I got this robe for free with my Ulta purchase. I love a value. And you can even help people get flood insurance. I mean, you are an all-inclusive situation.
Yes, yes. If they have a small business, so many times individuals don't realize, oh, I have a home-based business. I don't need to have business insurance. Whether you have a home-based business, whether you have a strip mall business or you're in a mall, you need to have that protected. We're in a very litigious society. Think about all the court TV shows we have, and you never know where your product could subject you to a lawsuit. Information, consulting that you shared with someone, they now are holding you responsible for a bad decision that they made based on the information that you shared. It can happen. And so you want to make sure that you have business insurance. So that is also a feather that we have in our cap as well.
And I don't think people talk about that enough, especially in a gig economy. I think that's really important. That may be something we need to pull from your website, or have you talk a little bit more about in the future, because there are so many women who are being entrepreneurial
Yes.
and who are building these things, but mitigating risk is really important. And
And
unfortunately,
absolutely. And I'm so sorry because when you said that, that made me think of something. So many women have in their homes, whether it is a doTERRA or Mary Kay or Avon, whatever the case may be, some type of little side hustle, and they've got inventory and they've got so much stuff in their home. And most of them don't realize, Becca, that those products are not covered by their homeowner insurance policy or their renter's insurance policy. So it's important that they have the right risk management in their toolkit, in their tool belt.
yeah, and again, there is, whether you're a new starting business and you want to just protect your investment,
Yes,
or you have built this empire that you want to protect, and that's one of the things that I like when we are talking, is that you constantly are evaluating what is in the best interest of your customers. And I'm just going to say what is not politically correct. Not everybody in your business does that. And so there's a differential when you know Renee, and she is going to look out for your needs and help protect you, but not sell you everything under the sun. Because as I told you, I'm an upseller. You could sell me anything, and I'd be like, oh, I definitely need it. And my husband then sits me down and we have a conversation about what is a need and what is a want. But I think
yes,
that's really important. And so again, as and I am such a ardent supporter of women taking charge of their financial future.
oh yes,
Part of that is protecting your financial future, and that's what you can do.
yes,
You are the protection that everybody needs. So you see the number,
yes,
you need to call it, let her girl power team bring it home for you,
yes,
because you don't want to say shoulda, woulda, coulda when you could easily make the call now.
yes.
So let's give it up for Renee Scott Day of Renee Scott Insurance. Wearing my
Hey,
robe, got my Be Fierce necklace on. I have pink nail polish that is not my style,
and
but
I've
I
got
just rolled with
green.
it. See, that looks cool. I think everything looks cooler on everybody else. I can't pull it off, but it is what it is. But celebrate Renee Scott Day the correct way. Call that number, improve, assess, make sure you're well protected, and then you can thank us, because I know you're going to love working
Yes,
with Renee Scott,
thank you, Becca.
and maybe even her twin someday. Maybe you get a 2 for 1.
Yes, wouldn't that be awesome?
All right. Well, we got to let Renee get back to helping people. So we'll see y'all later, but keep helping women ascend and meet their economic dreams and goals, because we are all stronger together.
Yes, bye.
Bye.